hate myself. Just to tell you guys that I accidentally deleted this part right here. But yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into it. So Deku moving Dinky, they would get teleported to a room full of paper, and this is when the demon would appear. The demon would appear and start shifting around, shooting strikes at him. But of course, Deku would try to dodge it, try to strike at him using moves and all that, trying to cut off his head, until he comes up with the combo. He would dash towards him, and he would throw a sunflower thrust, which would be countered with a slash attack, which would break it, sending the piece back, which would hit Dinky in the head, waking him up. And he'd grab the piece of the sword. Freaking out, he would use his quirk, dashing forward at high speeds, stabbing it into the teleporting part of the dongos, or bongos, breaking it before he can hit it. Then Deku would have used a move called Solar Halo Dragon Dance. And he would start spinning, dodging all the strikes, till he's back on it, using the sunflower thrust again. Then he would use Clear Sunny Day, spinning, cutting his head off, and finish him off. I just had to deal with that because I'm really angry. This will be a shorter part than the last one. But walking with Dinky to his house, which would be out the outskirts of the city, they would see they would pretty much meet up with a part of it. They would get to Dinky's home, which would be empty, since his mother and father's working right now. Whenever it ends up with him telling him that, Deku would assist to leave, and he would go. Dashing through the forest, or dashing to the city, jumping in building a building, watching an area, looking at some clothes. But of course the police would get a notice that there's some kind of figure jumping through the building. So they would have told them that, and told the heroes around, which they would tell Miss Joke. Miss Joke would of course look around. She won't be dashing a building, but she'll wait until something stops from a building, which you would find surprisingly. Well, what she'd find is a kid with a sword that's broken, or with a sword hilt on him. But whenever she goes talk to the kid, he would try to jump off, but she would use a cord to stop him and tell him to come with her, and Deku would go into the police officers, and they would go for a background check on him, seeing if his parents put a missing kid report up or something like that. But finally they would ask him where their parents are. And he would have said that they're dead, his father died from sickness, and his mother died from grief. So, yeah. They would go off, and they're trying to send him to a foster care area. But Miss Joke would say, "Nah, I got this," would suggest her to take him in for now, till they can find a good place where he can go. So she would adopt him, and they'd take him home, and she would ask for the sword, but he would say no, and he would explain why about his father and all that. And he would pull out the sword, looking at it, and touching the part that was broken off. Oh my god, did this dude just leave me? Oh my god, I literally hate this game when people do this. Yeah, I'm leaving. I can't leave my game. Return to game. Wow. Wow, I should have left first. Now I'm stuck playing this game, but okay. Yay. Oh my god, I hate you, game. But yeah. So, Miss Joke would hear about this, and she would look at the sword a little more, and would notice that it's anti-demon stuff right here, which would surprise her. And she would ask how did his father get this? And he would say that this is used to slay demons, that's why he gave it to me. Because I am a demon slayer. Which you would ask what that means, why you're so imaginative as a kid. Which he would say, no, the technique that I use are for slaying demons. Pulling out his blade, or taking his blade, spinning, using 3 moves, and she would say, is that your quirk? He would say, this is not a quirk, this is a technique that is used through my family. So yeah. Of course, she'd be skeptical, and later on they would take him to a quirk doctor, which a quirk doctor would say that he is quirkless. And that's a proven fact. So, of course, that's when she would ask what this technique's called. He would explain it and all that and how it works. And explain the see-through world to her. Of course. But, of course, he would just live there, get his own room and all that. Nothing much. But he would meet Aizawa one day. With his sword. Meeting Aizawa, you would not know him, but Miss Joke would make all these jokes about getting married, which you know about, and all that. But him and all conversation, which I'll say they're here to get like a mission update. In this mission update, Miss Joke would have a kid at, would make them say, Miss Joke, why is there a kid here? She would say that I'm pretty new at this parenting thing. This is, his name would be Izuku, but I would say that he would call him Deku, since his mother would call him that for encouragement whenever he was a kid. Saying that he can do anything if he puts his mind to it, giving us the name Deku. So yeah. This is Deku. Which, you know, not the version that Bakugo named him, but the one that like Uraraka named him and stuff like that is what this one that his mother used for. So yeah. Of course, they would have the blade and all that, which they would be confused about. But she says not to worry, and tells Deku to do something. Of course, as she thought, he would go outside to train. With Aizawa, already went there earlier to get informed already, where he doesn't have to meet all the people and all that, and people are not questioning him. So yeah. So he would see Deku walk outside, and Deku would pull out his broken blade, and he would try to use the 13 technique, trying to use the move constantly, but of course he would get halfway through it and would fail. whenever this happens, he would drop to the ground on the middle of one of his moves, and he would face plant sliding, and he'd get back trying to do it again until Aizawa would ask what he's doing. He would say that he's trying to perfect his third move, or you call it the 13th form, because, you know, which Aizawa would be confused about and ask what that is, and he would say that it's the 13th technique of his moves. And he sees what are these moves. As a kid, you already found some. And why do you have a sword in the first place? Is it a toy sword? Looking at it and touching it, saying it's not a toy sword. In fact, he wouldn't pay too much attention because he's tired, so he wouldn't find out that it's some demon slayer sword. So yeah, I already put them at 20. Bro, you only need like one pistol shot to get this dude. But yeah. But yeah. He would beat the dude. He would ask why you have these techniques and explain how you get them. He would say that his father used these techniques as a dance he taught me as it. So it's supposed to be used as constantly, and you use it over and over again, all of them at the same time. And all of that. And he would ask the demonstration of the moves. Of course, he would say okay. And first song he would show him is, I would say, what's it called? I forgot the name. Here it is. Well, not Fire Wheel, but Raging Sun. Raging Sun he would use spinning around, throwing a lot of sword attacks, which Aizawa would sort of laugh in his head, which he would throw at a tree, but it would look like all of his moves missed. Of course, afterwards, flame would appear and cuts would appear, with Aizawa saying, how did you hit it? And Deku would say that that move is used for a trick that makes it look like it didn't hit, but in fact it did. But yeah, in fact it did. So yeah. Then he would show him, he would try to trick him by dashing towards him, and he would say fake rainbow, which Deku would stop with his blade and charging towards him, which as I would see, and he would try to cancel his quirk, and would try to grab the kid, but his hand would go into it, and it would nothing would be there, and Deku would be right next to him, swinging his sword for the head. Which you'd say that this is fake rainbow. It's used as an optical illusion. Give me a second, please don't. But yeah. Which was surprised Aizawa asking, is this his quirk? It's pretty impressive. And Deku would say that it's not a quirk. And all that. I don't know Joke's name, Miss Joke, but he would say Miss Jokes took me to the doctor, and it said that it was not a quirk. And all that. So Aizawa would be all that, but Miss Joke would walk out, telling Deku, are you ready? And you could see, yeah, going off. But while he's leaving, I would say that this sort of samurai of the heroes would come out, I would say, why does a kid have a blade on him? It's not a toy, especially that caliber. Looking at it, saying that's an anti-demon sword. Going to try to grab it. Since he's all strict and technically a kid doesn't supposed to have a weapon, but of course, Deku would smack his hand and all that. Who's Smith joke telling him not to do that. But of course he would say no. I would say he's one of the ruder heroes, but he is a very good hero and he has good things in heart and all that. But of course Deku would say that I'm going to give my sword up until I die. Even after that, I'll still clench it in my hand. Which he would say big words for a kid. So if you want to test that, let's have a sparring test. Which he would pull out 2 wooden swords, which Deku would take. Deku would breathe in and out, and would dash forward using flash dance, which would appear in front of the dude. But of course, the dude is a hero, so I would say he would be at least be able to stop this attack. He would stop it, but he wouldn't be able to stop clear blue sky with Deku spinning, knocking his blade to the ground, with flame appearing and smacking into the dude, which with the amount of strength that Deku's using at this quick movement would break his sword with burst of flame from inside of it. With Deku saying that I can't use wooden swords much for a long time, since eventually they would crack under the pressure. Sorry, we're trying to figure out the takeout food. But yeah. So, yeah. Of course, he would walk off with the kid pretty strong, with the samurai admitting it. But yeah, this will be the end of this episode. Goodbye.